Hi, my name is Maya Basquin, and I'm a leader at 180 Students Ministry. I'm so excited to be able to share my testimony with you today. So, a little bit about me. I am an engineer by trade, and I've been a children's ministry director before, and currently I work in philanthropy. That's where I belong. I work at the W.K. Kellogg Foundation as a specialist for the Haiti team. I was born and raised in South Florida. I was born in Hollywood, and I grew up in Pembroke Pines. And my family is Haitian. I'm Haitian. My mom and my dad were both born in Haiti, raised there, and they immigrated here when they were in their teens. And my stepfather is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I have an older brother, and I have a younger sister, and I have 5 younger brothers. So my journey with the Lord began, I guess, from birth, really. My family has always gone to Mass pretty consistently. And so as a child, I always went to Mass. I really just loved being in church. I loved, the stained glass. I loved the smell of the incense. I loved dipping my finger in the holy water. And, it was kind of like fun. So I knew about God, and I believed in Him, and I knew that He was really, really special, and that I knew I could talk to Him if I wanted to. So right when I was 7 years old, 8 years old, I had found myself, unfortunately, in some really just terrible sin that really no child should ever have to go through. And I felt really empty, so empty in my heart. We had also started going to a church in Miami Lakes, and that was the first time that I had ever really heard the gospel, which was all about the sacrifice that Jesus made for me. And I would hear it over and over and over, and I just didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to feel. How could He take away all of my sin? I didn't get that part. I would just go to church over and over, Sunday after Sunday, year after year. When I was 12 years old, my mother and I went to a play called Eternity. It was all about what happens after you die, basically. But the funny thing about it was less about like me not wanting to go to hell and way more about me wanting Jesus to come down and like welcome me into heaven. And so I turned to somebody to my left, and she said, "Do you know Jesus as your Lord and Savior?" And I was like, I know. I never said yes when they asked me if I wanted to know Jesus. So I said, no, I don't know Jesus as my Lord and personal Savior. She said, "Do you want to?" And I said, yes, I really do. I want Jesus to welcome me, and I want to have life with Him. And I think for me, it was that I didn't have the answers to my questions, but at that point, I felt like my heart was ready to just open up to the possibility that Jesus is my Savior, and that I figured that He would teach me along the way. So I think that I imagined that once I had given my life to the Lord, that things would be pretty easy. But the interesting thing is that, when we become Christians, it actually becomes, expected that we will be able to suffer. When I was 12, that was just the beginning of me learning more about what God has truly done in the earth from the beginning of time until now and forever, basically. And for me, it was just really critical to learn about the history of Him with His people, and understanding that He always had a plan in mind for redeeming His people to Himself. People who would turn their backs on Him, people who would walk away from Him, people who would forget all of the beautiful things that He had done for them and chase other gods, chase after the thrills of this life, essentially. that was basically me. I turned 18 and I was like, I'm going to college, I'm gonna party, I'm gonna have a great time, and I did. But when I turned 18, another thing also happened, and I was basically surrounded by a lot of different young people who were really excited about their relationship with God and wanted to live for Him. When I got to that age, that was when I started to learn that God had an actual plan for my life, that He had a vision for where my life was gonna go, and that He wanted to use me for His glory, and that plan was very specific. So that was really exciting to learn about. I stumbled a lot, I failed a lot. But time and time again, I started to realize a very important concept in the Bible, and that concept is covenant. There's a verse in Romans that says, nothing can separate you from the love of God. And it's so special because I feel like there's so many times where I really did turn my back on the Lord. But God never did that. He never abandoned me. He never let me go, essentially. And He always reassured me that the plan was still on. And I just want to let you know how grateful I am to the Lord that He never gave up on me, that He hasn't lost His plan on me. And now I feel like even at this age, at 28 years of age, I feel like my plan, with God, is so clear. The path forward is more clear, and I'm more focused than ever, because it's been years and years, even though it's been hard, it's been years and years of turning back to Him, and Him always being there, no matter what my condition was. My name is Maya, and I am redeemed.